Hi guys, it's Joe from IC3D People again, and today I've got a asset pack review for you. This one's called Edge Nature Stylized Open World, and it's available on the Unreal Market and Marketplace for about $50 US. Um, so this pack contains 144 unique meshes. Um, it's got lots of detailed, stylized assets. It's got a custom moss and snow shader, custom foliage and grass shader, custom water and a waterfall shader. It's got stylized VFX with particle system. It's got lots of stones and cliffs. It's got an auto terrain material with 10 terrain layers. It's got optimized LODs and easy customized material. And there's also a large demo scene included, which is what you're seeing now and what we're flying through. So let's watch the rest of this, and after that we'll jump into the project and take a look at what's inside in a bit more detail. Okay, so let's take a look at the rest of the project here and what comes with this asset pack. And just before we go any further, the links for this asset pack are in the description. So if you do decide you want to check it out, go look at it at the Epic store, at the Epic Marketplace, and yeah, and leave it a review if you do purchase it. The other thing is, can you please just like, subscribe, and press the bell notification? That would help me out a lot in growing this channel. Thank you. And so let's jump into it. Let's go through the demo world at the moment. So everything is laid out pretty well, except for these meshes. I'm not sure why they're not within the asset folder, but everything else is. So you can see everything's done pretty well, and then you can jump into other, which has everything like lighting, particle systems, reflections, all that sort of stuff. It does come with a player start and a first-person camera. The only thing you don't get in here is obviously this sequence folder, which is something I've created to showcase that that initial fly through. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to press F11 just to go into experience mode, just to make it a bit easier to see. Okay, so let's fly through. I'm going to increase my camera speed because it's too slow otherwise. Because this is a big map, I'm just going to jump up. So it kind of looks like it's split up into the different biomes. So over here, it looks like we have a mixture of birch and oak trees, and then the same across here. And then you can sort of see some dead trees over here scattered through, and then you can see the mixture of different variety of color plants. Down here we have the runes. These look to be a little bit, I think if we jump into the asset preview, we can see I think these are actually modular, so you can build these the way you need to. We have some waterfalls and some waterfall shader effects, and we also have the, if you have a look down below, so you also have the water shader effect comes along with it. If we jump back over here, we can see the snow detail, so we can have a look at all the different assets that come here in the snow variety, and again we have a little bit more of the same over here, so just more layouts, and you've got obviously all the rocks and the moss, and that you can see here with the different layers of the landscape. So you've got the grass layer, there's dirt layer. I think there seems to be like a offshore layer there, like the stone that's coming through, darker dirt and that sort of stuff. So I think it says there's 10 different layer types that come with this, so they're mixed around. Have a look for those. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. One thing I did notice is, and I'm just going to put this down a little bit just to display it, is the water, if you go underneath, there isn't any post-processing volume underneath, so Yeah, it's just going to kind of look like this when you go under. But yeah, that's not too hard to add. The other thing is frames the frames per second in this demo environment itself can be a little low depending on your machine. So if you've got a lower end machine, it might struggle a little bit, but you don't have to worry about that too much because you can just turn down the scalability settings and it will run much better. So you can switch it from cinematic down to high, epic, or medium, or something like that, and it'll just make it a bit easier to run. But yeah, but it shouldn't be too bad. This is not a high spec machine, and it runs okay on here, so should be okay. Let's jump into the folder structure and see what that looks like, and see how everything's laid out. So see how easy it is to customize for your own projects. So down here we have everything looks to be organized quite well: materials, models, scenes, textures, and VFX particles. What I want to do is, well, let's just jump into models and see how well that is done underneath. So foliage, ruins, stones, waterfalls, that's fine. Let's jump onto VFX particles, and again, it's more of the same. So everything looks to be laid out quite well. I'm going to jump into the materials folder. I'm just going to jump into master materials because what I want to take a look at is the blueprints for the materials. I'm just going to jump into this one because this has some animations going on, so I just want to see how well this has been laid out. So comments everywhere, which is good. So it gives you an idea of what's affecting what to make it easier if you ever want to edit this stuff later on and customize it for your own projects. So you can have a look here. So sway effect, wind, etc. and all going out into the output here. So that's good. Yep, happy with that in terms of readability. Okay, and let's just check one more to make sure it's not just a once off. Let's jump into the water and maybe let's take a look at the water lines. Okay, and yep, quite similar. So everything's commented out quite well. So distortion, noise, wave lines, opacity, etc. So that'll give you an idea of what you're dealing with if you wanted to edit this sort of stuff. Okay, so the last thing I just want to do is just, there's another scene in here which we can have a look at, which gives us a preview of the assets in its entirety. So I just want to take a look at these and just show you those just in case there was something you missed in the demo and in the previous footage. So here we can see we have, and it's all quite nicely laid out, which is says this is foliage. So here we can have a look. We got trees, grass, mushrooms, plants, grass clumps, bushes, logs, and then so here we have what looks to be a birch tree, maybe a dead tree, yes. What are these, pine trees or spruce trees? Spruce trees, yeah, I think they're the same thing, I'm not quite sure. Same sort of thing, but with no leaves. What are these ones? These are oak trees. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of trees with some different varieties. And then you have the snow variants. So this would be a dead tree with snow. Yep. So that gives you an idea of the different types of effects you can get in terms of a winter effect or a snow effect. Then over here we have the runes. In here, like I suspected, yes, they look to be modular, so yeah, you could potentially copy, paste these and create runes to whatever you desire or whatever you need. That's great. And here we have stones, which this can be again modified to what you need. Very different, lots of different variations here. Small to big, so there's quite a lot there, so you can replicate those without getting it too static. Here we have some waterfall, that's labeled waterfall VFX. I think these are actually meshes, yes. What's this is also a mesh, yeah. So they're all meshes with some materials applied. Yeah, and this obviously makes up the waterfall effects and that was showcased earlier as well in the demo scene. So that's it in this scene. I think that's pretty much all I have to show you for this asset pack. It does look like there's a lot of care and due diligence and love gone into this pack. So yeah, if you do need a high quality stylized nature pack, go ahead and check it out. Again, links in the description. Again, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. And until next time, guys, take care.